Hello, I'm Claire Green, and welcome to Insured Insights, a series of conversations where we invite industry experts to come and talk to us about some of the challenges we're facing both in our business and the industry. Today, I'm delighted to invite Graeme, the CEO of BIBA, to join us for today's set of conversations. Thank you so much for joining us, Graeme.
Pleasure to be here.
Fabulous. So today, what's going to happen is we've got a random generator of questions, and the way it will roll, Graeme, is we take turns to push the button. So, shall we get started?
Yep. Shall I go first?
You go first.
Okay.
Right, so what opportunities do you think there are for insurance brokers selling personal lines insurance products?
Well, I think, Claire, there's huge opportunities for BIBA insurance brokers with personal lines. When I think back in the day when I was a personal lines insurance broker and sort of started out, I was using the old, what was then the Bishopsgate underwriting guide. We then used technology to go on to software houses and quote systems. Then that went to EDI, and technology is now telematics. You're using telematics for car insurance policies. There's parametric insurance for property when looking at floods with really easy triggers to help with claims. So technology helps us, and we can harness that, particularly artificial intelligence as that's progressing as well. I think brokers are in a unique place to advise clients. When you think that there are many vulnerable customers, there's older clients, they need help from a local, regional, expert insurance broker. They can't get the help that they need online. So there's real opportunity there. So masses of opportunities. We're great to work with a partner like Ageas. We love the fact that you're in our manifesto. You're committed to serving the personal lines broking market, and there's a need for you. We need those forward-thinking, innovating insurers. So very much looking forward to what we can do.
Yeah, excellent. I completely agree with you. I mean, I think when we look back on the value last year, I think it was £16.5 billion GWP written in the broker personal line space. That just gives you a huge idea of what the size of the opportunity is. And I agree with you. I think that position of choice is really what's going to make the broker proposition really interesting for the customer now. So it's not that there's not a place for the aggregator. Of course there is. People that are time poor will often resort to that as a place to shop. But I think if you are a more complex customer by way of needs, product, non-standard product, or if you're a connected customer that's very busy managing a farm, a factory, or whatever that might be, or small basis, you've still got the normal standard needs of a normal customer. Just you are time poor, or you're likely to own something that's slightly bespoke or slightly different. Where I think the insurance broker is able to sort of give that value back to customers, taking away the time and the effort and giving them the answer that they need.
Very much so. And I think brokers also offer insurers and customers that expertise. So schemes, facilities, expert areas where their broker has that knowledge, where they can service a particular niche area, whether it be high net worth, classic cars, whatever it is. Really support that customer, but bring that expertise to the insurer so that you can work with them. The broker can do the delivery, and that just works for everybody. So for me, affinity schemes, there's so many opportunities for brokers out there there's exciting times ahead.
I completely agree. And I think where I've been massively, I don't know if the word is surprised, impressed, or both, working with brokers is how entrepreneurial a number of them are. And I think we can be a little bit assumptive in that thinking that the entrepreneurialism sits very much with the large broker that have got a lot of capital sitting behind them, they're running at a fast pace. Or actually it has been with the smaller broker or the regional space that I've been really surprised, I think, in regards to how just fleet of foot that they're thinking in regards to just making themselves relevant.
60% of BIBA's members are small brokers with less than 10 staff. And because they're small, they're nimble and they can act quickly and come to us with ideas. And it's amazing when we've got like 20 different committees and advisory boards, and there's always key issues come from the small brokers that end up in our manifesto, and we end up talking to government or the regulator or the media or insurers about. So we very much appreciate the engagement of so many brokers in BIBA, but those small guys, they've got fantastic ideas.
They have. Should we take the next question?
Shall we? Do you want to turn?
Oh, go on. Right. How can brokers work with insurers to maximise the benefits of data?
That's a really interesting question. Now, data is really important. There's so much of it, but it's about harnessing it and properly understanding it. So, for example, you want to get a competitive edge. So you need to understand, well, where can I maximize my profits? Where am I losing money? Where are the complaints coming from? And if you can use that data to properly analyze your business, you can see where do I need to invest to make things better, where I'm actually doing really well, and then where are those opportunities to maximize my profitability. So for us, data is such a new important part of what we do. So yes, I'm working with insurers as well, because obviously with that partnership with you, we need to understand where your claims are coming from. Is there a cause? There's lots of things like some particular vehicles are being stolen rather a lot at the moment, shall we say?
Yeah, let's not mention which one.
Yeah. So why is that? What can we do
Yeah.
about that? How can clients still make sure they can get affordable insurance for those vehicles? So data is absolutely key, and it's something that we want to work really closely with insurers on.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. I think a number of brokers have probably been frightened by that expression, data, big data, and there's been a big fixation around that as a subject. Or actually, when you start to unpeel it and make it, just real for the broker, I think it makes it more accessible to them, but also it's less daunting to speak to a customer about using their data when they understand what it's being used for, and the simplicity of it. As simple as looking at a customer that might have a bike policy or a motorhome policy, and being able to transfer some of that data and insight into a car policy. Because obviously somebody that's been driving a big vehicle around like a motorhome, for example, and as an insurer, we're pretty confident they are going to be a good car risk as well, whereas that kind of data would never have been considered together before.
That's a really good point, actually. And I think one of the things we found really interesting was analysing that data and using a bit of AI sometimes as well. The rating factors have changed. So we've seen certain schemes that our members are using and underwriters are using. They're those traditional rating factors that you use for motor, for example, or travel. Actually, they're not also relevant, and some of them don't make any difference at all. So out with the old, in with the new. New rating factors are being used, and that's leading to that competitive edge, bringing premiums down where possible. And isn't that great that we properly understand that? So to use that real life experience from data has been very, very helpful. And I feel we're still at the very start of that journey. There's a lot more for us to learn.
Yeah, I agree. I think as we get into what data really means in real terms, I think for the broker market, particularly the offline space, I think it could be really interesting for them, because actually they do hold a number of multi-products for that connected customer, for example. And if that means they can use that data, translate it to expand their portfolio, help customers save time, feel the benefit of their loyalty to that broker, then all of that has to be good, doesn't it? For the consumer, for the broker, and enabling the broker to continue to be relevant in the future.
Absolutely. And something that's really interesting is we've got the automated vehicle bill going through Parliament at the moment. And one of the key things in our manifesto is that brokers have access to the data if there's a claim, because we need to know, did that automated vehicle fail? What was the cause of the accident? Because if the human wasn't the user in charge, what went wrong, and where's the negligence there, so that who ultimately is liable for that claim. So for us, that bill and access to the data is so important for our sector, because if it's the motor manufacturer that actually have a flawed program, and maybe the sensors didn't work in the fog or something like that, then we need to know to prevent future claims of the future. So there's also a safety angle here with access to data. So it's really important that the industry, insurers and brokers, get access to that data when that bill is enacted.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the buzzword you said there is using data for the future. Data is so often a retrospective level of analysis, but being able to use data and think about more insight in regards to not just the future behaviour, but actually how the trends might change and the future might take us. I think it's really, really, really interesting, and as you said, exciting, I think, particularly for the broker market.